Alabama is a scary team, and I actually believe, I stated this in the offseason. Of course, people said Matt's an idiot, but here we are. We're seeing it happen a lot of time. I actually believe they might be better without Saban. Let me explain. All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great Sunday. And I already know what you're saying. Matt, buddy, what are we doing? You're supposed to be making a Sunday recap. And yes, I know I'll address that in just a second. First things first, it is the following day after that absolute cinema of a college football game between Alabama and Georgia. Another instant classic, and it went how every matchup has went. Hard-fought game, comes down to the end, but Alabama pulls it out. Alabama fans, they're left happy, and Georgia fans are in the same place. I feel like every single Georgia fan's reaction's the same. Here we go again, another year in which we probably should have beat Alabama. Well, this game you shouldn't have, but you know what I'm saying. Another year in which you had a good chance to win the game, you blow it. Go figure. Well, this one they didn't blow it, but you get what I'm trying to say. You was in the game, Alabama pulled away. It's a heartbreaking loss for Georgia. All things considered, take away the first half, you was winning with 2 minutes to go, and you lose. Again, it's like deja vu. Year after year after year. To give you some context on what's going on, I just got done watching film like I always do on my Sunday mornings. It was a very late night last night, getting up the reaction video and also waking up early watching film, not just on the Alabama-Georgia game, but all the other games. The Sunday recap video will be uploaded tonight. What time, don't know. Having a little issue though because, well, my Wi-Fi for some odd reason, currently as when I'm speaking and making this video, is not working. And kind of need that to edit a video. If it doesn't get back to working, I don't know. I mean, it's up in there. The ball's not in my court. I'm doing everything I can. So until the Wi-Fi comes back on, we're kind of stuck. I'm sure it will. Maybe it's just one of those things that's out for 30 minutes or an hour. I don't know. But the video's coming. Sunday recap will be uploaded. I just don't know at time. So be on the lookout for that. There's a lot we got to talk about, not involving Alabama and Georgia. But in this video, after I watch film, there's some specific things I want to touch on. Thing number one. Georgia fans aren't going to like to hear this, but eventually you're going to have to come to terms with reality. Alabama owns Georgia. It's as simple as that. And if you're still in denial, you just don't live in reality. It's wishful thinking to think that Alabama doesn't own Georgia. They do. And it's so comical and laughable to me when all these Georgia fans, although I really enjoy the Georgia fan base, I love passionate fans, but the few of those, or not even few, but a majority of those fans going, oh yeah, Nick Saban's gone. Our time to shine, baby. Matt, I'm sorry. Y'all had a good run, but y'all can't beat us without Saban. DeBoer. Oh, remember the knock on DeBoer? DeBoer, nah, he's Brian Harsin 2.0. Well, anybody can win at Fresno State. I mean, of course he's got a good record when he's not playing good teams, but the SEC, it's different. I'm not even going to say anything because actions speak louder than words. Just sit and watch. You saw it last night. Now, am I saying we should crown Kalen DeBoer as the next Nick Saban after this win over Georgia in a 4-0 start? Heck to the no. But what I am saying is for all those people that thought DeBoer was some fluke, no. What do we say on this channel? And I haven't been saying this a lot. I need to start saying it more. Winners win and losers lose. Can't make it up. But somehow, someway in this life, winners are always going to find a way to win. On the contrary, losers are always going to find a way to lose. And Alabama and Georgia, you see what I'm talking about. It's a classic example of a winner and a loser. In that matchup, Alabama's the winner and Georgia's the loser. They always find a way to lose and Alabama always finds a way to win. Same thing in life. You have a friend. Every single one of you watching this video, you know a person who is good at everything they do. Everything they touch, it turns to gold. It's not for some mysterious reason they're a winner. I'm not going to sit here and say they're the chosen one. No. It's just some people are born to win. Some people are born to lose. And that's how life is. We need losers because without losers, we don't have winners and vice versa. It is what it is. I say that to say this. Kalen DeBoer is a winner. I mean, what more do you need to see? Seriously. I guess now people are going to say, oh, well, he's got to win 10 games per year for the next 2 years for me to give him credit. Okay. I was talking to one guy last year. He ran into me. He recognized me, and I think this was at Publix, and he was, I believe, an Auburn or Tennessee fan. I live in Alabama, so it's not really uncommon to run into an Auburn or Tennessee fan. And he asked me for my thoughts on DeBoer, and, I told him. Try not to repeat myself because obviously I make videos and get my thoughts, but I just told him the same thing I say in the videos, just short summary. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, that sounds good, but he's not Nick Saban, and it's going to be rough for him when he plays Georgia. And I remember him vividly stating, we'll really see what Kalen DeBoer and Alabama's made of when they play Georgia. Because he told me he didn't think it was going to be close. Of course, I didn't take him serious, and I was like taking it personal. That's just his opinion, and he's entitled to that. But I remember thinking in my head, I didn't say it to him, I was like, yeah, we'll see. Some of you that don't believe in DeBoer, or you didn't, I would like for you to explain that reasoning for me. And I ask people that, whether it's in person or in the comment section, whatever. I'm asking you guys here again. If you didn't believe in DeBoer's ability to just continue what Nick Saban's done, why? What was your reasoning, or what is your reasoning for that? Genuinely confused. You do understand Alabama last year lost to Quinn Ewers in Texas by double digits at home. And Kalen DeBoer beat that same Texas team with far less talent. Let me shut this door because I heard the echo. You probably didn't hear it, but heard it in the house when I screamed. Kalen DeBoer did more with less at Washington, and now you're going to gift him all this supreme talent at Alabama? Why would you think he's going to fail? That's my question. I ain't trying to sit up here and tell you he's going to win the next 25 national championships in a row. But to think he's not a good coach and Alabama was going to start going 7-5, 8-4, bad take if you got to ask me. And I've said that the past 7 or 8 months, and really just had to bite my tongue when I see people saying, no, it ain't going to happen because the season's not here. The beauty of the season being here is all the naysayers that they really can't naysay anymore because it's time for reality. Okay? After Alabama beats Georgia, you can't sit up here and say, well, I don't believe in DeBoer. I don't think Alabama's going to be continuing to be a top 12 team. You can't say it anymore because it's reality check. Even the haters got to admit it. All right, yeah. I can't believe it, but Alabama's still one of the best teams in the country with Saban gone. It's their biggest nightmare. It's coming true. And if I was an Alabama hater or I was an Alabama fan, trust me, I'd be mad too. I would be furious that a team has dominated my favorite sport for going on. It's about to be 20 years. And here's the crazy part. There's no signs of weakness or slowing up. That's what's really scary. And people thought, oh my goodness, finally, Saban's gone. We don't have to worry about Alabama. I kind of feel bad for the people that actually believed Alabama was going to, quote unquote, fall off, because now you're back to square one. You just got to sit in your room and go, dang, they ain't falling off. And this is bad news for us. But I talked a little bit too long on that, or longer on that situation than I wanted to. Let's talk about some other things I want to touch on. I did want to speak on DeBoer and how great of a job he's done. And we're going to talk about the coaching staff in this game because I saw some comments, people tweeting at me, yo, Matt, maybe it's not the players' fault that, Georgia came back from a 30 burger. Maybe it's the coach's fault. And I agree. I think it's a combination of everybody. It's everybody's fault. Not just one position group or the player. No. Coaches, everybody included. Let's talk about that. But first things first. Well, actually, no. Let's get to that. So I talked a little bit about yesterday. These players at half, when they go in and they see they're up 30-7, the coaches are telling them, this happens at every level, even middle school football. Guys, I know we're up 30-7, but we got to go out in the second half and play like it's 0-0. They tell them that. It's the same thing for every level, every coach. But it is the hardest thing in the world to actually convince these kids to go out there and play like it's 0-0. Because when you walk out on that field, you walk out on the basketball court, the baseball field, and you see you're up by 30, you're like, we chilling, man. We chilling, cuz. We up by 30. We ain't got nothing to worry about. We're one of the best teams in the nation. We ain't worried. We can make a couple mistakes. You genuinely think that, oh yeah, well, we can have a couple turnovers maybe. Just kind of be on cruise control and we'll win this game. I've been there before, so I know how these players think. It's almost like human nature to think that way, to be conservative when you already have enough. You know what I mean? I think a good example, no, this is a great example. It'd be the equivalent to you go into the casino with $500, you hit big on blackjack or something like that, and you got $1 million. You walked in with 500, you hit a couple hands of blackjack or something, the roulette table, put all the money on red a bunch of times, and you get to $1 million. We'll just say $1 million because it's a nice even number. Well, if you got to $1 million, would you still be in attack mode? You see what I'm saying? And I already know there's going to be some degenerate gamble saying, oh yeah, I'll be in attack mode. Well, you're just crazy. 99% of people watching this video, you know, if you got up to $1 million in profit at the casino, if you continued to play, you should walk away, but if you continued to play, it wouldn't be these huge hands. You'd be in conservative mode, like, all right, let's chill. We got profit. Yeah, I might play a little bit more with the buddies, but well, we're not risking it all. Same thing here with Alabama. We're already up big, so let's just kind of, we don't need to go from $1 million to $1,005,000. You see what I'm saying? We don't need to go from $1 million to $2 million and get super greedy, because there's also an argument for when you get too greedy, when you're up 30-7 and you're still throwing these long pass plays, you can throw a couple pick sixes and Georgia gets back in the game. So that part, like I said, it's just human nature. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's human nature when you're up in sports or in life to take a chill pill. And that Alabama team, I know some people are going to say, oh man, I'm kind of worried about that Alabama team we saw in the second half. I ain't worried, because every ball knower knows this. Alabama took their foot off the gas, and that was not the same Alabama team out there in the second half on offense or defense, because you start changing your play calls, you're playing not to lose. And I hate playing not to lose. I feel like you should always be in attack mode, but it happened. It is what it is. We can't change it. And I believe that's on the coaches. We got to do a better job. And it's so crazy. We beat Georgia, one of the best teams in the nation. I'm sitting there saying we got to do a better job. But seriously, there's small things like that matter, because we almost lost the game at the end. Got to do a better job there. DeBoer's got to do a better job. Defensive coordinator Womack's got to do a better job. Players, a little bit. But I think that's more on the coaches. So whenever you give up a 30-point lead and there's no turn, like think about it. We didn't throw pick sixes and have forced fumbles. That's on the coaches. Carson Beck having 4 turnovers, that ain't on Kirby Smart. That's on Carson Beck. Same thing with Auburn and Peyton Thorne. Is it Hugh Freeze's fault Auburn's quarterbacks can't throw it to the right team? No. It's the quarterback's fault. I hate this whole false narrative where people go, oh, you can't blame the player. Heck, nah, yeah, you can blame the players. Have y'all seen Auburn football? Their quarterbacks literally are losing the games for them. If they had a half-decent quarterback, I feel like if they had Alabama's backup, Ty Simpson, they'd be undefeated. Auburn's not a bad team. They just have bad quarterbacks. Crazy, but we're not here to talk about Auburn. We got to do a better job coaching. Moving along from that, I don't want to make this a super long video. I knew he was special before I watched film this morning, but good googly moogly. Ryan Williams. I firmly believe he was created in a lab. Those moves, and not just that final touchdown. He had one in the first half where it was like he was running up, stop, turn, caught it here. Defender's behind him. He's like hopping back and forth and then spent like, what in the world? I mean, he looks like he's literally doing the salsa on the field, dancing. I don't think some people understand how impressive it is to look that smooth out there when you're playing future NFL players in Georgia on their defense. And of course, the final catch, Jalen Milroe, hey, launches it up. Williams does his best White Randy impersonation. You got two Georgia players right here, and then he pulls out the biggest Houdini. I've rewatched that play at least 500 times. I'm not playing, 500 times on Twitter, TikTok, highlights. That is the craziest move I've probably ever seen. And the fact that it happened in that big of a moment, that man said he's running this way, and you're like, half spin, like, or I don't even know. It's so, I'm literally baffled right now trying to explain the move. You saw the play. That man's, I'm not too sure. I was thinking about it last night. Obviously, Jalen Milroe's leading the Heisman race because Cam Ward kind of fumbled the bag against Virginia Tech. But I'm not too sure. And that running back from Boise State, he's been pretty good. But I'm not too sure that Ryan Williams, like, why are we not talking about him for Heisman? He's got to be in the race. He's got to be in the race. Are we not too sure he's not one of the best players in the nation? I think he is. That ain't Bama bias. It's just a fact. Ryan Williams is so good. You got Georgia fans talking about how good he is. Do you know how insane that is? Like, Georgia fans currently, they won't admit how good Jalen Milroe is. They just hate him. But Ryan Williams is so good the other team is praising him. That's insane. Especially in an SEC matchup. And if you're from the South, you know it. When you get beat by your rival, Alabama and Georgia are rivals now, you don't dare say something good about the other, or most people. Me, I don't really care. I'll praise players left and right. Oh, let me reset the camera. Okay, cool. Like I was saying, I'll praise players whenever they need praise, and it is what it is. If Alabama gets beat and our team does good, I say they did good, but you get what I'm trying to say. Ryan Williams, man. Oh, yeah, by the way, did you know he's only 17? I can't wait till he turns 18 so people can stop saying that. But seriously, it is impressive what he's done at the age of 17. And if he's this good already, like, people hit their primes in different eras of their life. Some people hit their prime when they're 21 on the football field. But most people don't hit their prime until they're about 26, 25, 27 in football. We're talking about a 17-year-old. I like to assume he's only going to get better. Is that crazy to think or say? I don't think so. And Alabama's going to get him next year. You might quite literally have to double team this dude. Like, I'm talking about press coverage, 2-man on him, and have a free safety over the top, which would be a dang near triple team. Ryan Williams is unreal. Unreal. Had a $177 last night. Felt like he had more just because all the amazing plays he had. And it's not even like Jalen Milroe was just throwing him the ball. He only threw, I think he had like 6 or 7 targets, maybe 8. Milroe only had 6 incompletions on the night. He's unreal. The scary thing for the rest of the nation, and we'll end off the video with this, we'll talk more about it in the recap, is Alabama arguably has the best offense in the nation and a top 5 defense. No questions about it. None. Alabama is a scary team, and I actually believe, I stated this in the offseason, of course people said Matt's an idiot, but here we are, we're seeing it happen a lot of time. I actually believe they might be better without Saban. Let me explain. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Saban was getting old, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Much respect to him, much love, but he's getting old and to the point. He can't do all that screaming and stuff, and he's just getting old. You know it comes with age. DeBoer, however, and the new coaching staff is young blood, and they're hungry for success. DeBoer doesn't have all these championships. Saban does. So he's hungry, and DeBoer's an offensive mastermind, and that has, we've seen already, helped out Jalen Milroe's game a ton. It looks like the perfect offense for Milroe. Last year, although Milroe did good, it didn't seem like the perfect scheming offense. This year, our offense is way better than our offense last year. And the defense looks just as good, if not better. Watch out. That's all I'm going to say. Watch out. DeBoer draws up some amazing plays, and we've been executing. And that's what these games come down to, execution. Many more things I can say. I'm going to end it off here. Wi-Fi is... Guys, this ain't looking good for the Sunday recap. Wi-Fi's still not working. It doesn't appear to seem. I don't know, maybe it turns on soon. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.